What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to the Tricycle Iceman YouTube channel. Appreciate y'all for coming by. Like the video if you will, subscribe to the page, and stomp on that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And blessings to my patrons. Links in the description below. So, Mecha freaking Godzilla. Yeah, it's pretty much all but confirmed for Godzilla -2. Have you guys seen this? Let me show you a picture of this new Mecha Godzilla. What a design this is. Check that out. Look at how he kind of resembles the MonsterVerse one, doesn't it? But it's a new iteration. The next iteration in the Toho universe as far as I see it. That's right, the creators of Godzilla. Of Mechagodzilla. And here he is fighting the -1 Godzilla. So this is some ride that they're working on in Japan. Alright. And speculation has it that Mechagodzilla, of course, is going to be in Godzilla -2. Now, this is insane news. Obviously, in -1, it was sort of reminiscent of the old school Godzilla film, which I have right up in my shelf over here, actually. The 1956, I think is what it was, Godzilla. It was just Godzilla raining hell upon Japan. But now they have this, and here's what's interesting. There's a version of Mechagodzilla. You can look back on it. Perhaps I'll do a profile on this one. It was called Kuryu. Is that how you say? Sort of a Kuryu Titan / Kaiju. And the thing that depicted was how humans controlled it, right? As is often the case, but this wasn't necessarily the bad guys who had it in their hands, but it was just the good guys. They used it as a means to maybe bring down Godzilla a little bit, to help pivot him one direction or another. Kind of like how in the Avengers you had the Hulk Buster, right? Like Hulk was obviously a good guy, but Iron Man had to make the Hulk Buster to keep him under control a little bit. Like they didn't want to kill freaking Hulk with it, nor perhaps could they, but it was there to help keep him stable, right? And some are speculating that's what this Kuryu or Mechagodzilla in Godzilla 2.0 is going to be all about. So, I mean, I don't know. It looks pretty damn cool. Just some are criticizing the head. I'll zoom in on the head here. Yeah, look at those. It has like a cannon in its mouth. I mean, this thing is awesome. So let's take a better look at the skull. You see that? And it has a sort of cannon in its mouth. And look at those teeth and that glowing eye. I mean, who knows what sort of weaponry this thing is going to have at its disposal. And I can't help but wonder how the hell is Godzilla going to compete with such a monstrosity? Thing looks like it's made of freaking titanium. Here's what I speculate. What if burning Godzilla emerges? What if we get a version of burning Godzilla in Godzilla -2? The thing is, Legendary already did it, right? They had it in King of the Monsters. It was just one of the coolest scenes in that whole franchise as far as I see it. Remember, Godzilla was at the peak of his demise, all right? He was going down, right? Ghidorah was there just beating the absolute hell out of him. And then all of a sudden, he just is imbued with this power, right? And he starts pulsating. Just everything around him is just melting. The buildings around him are melting. What is Godzilla? What is Mecha Godzilla made of? Metal and shit. Alright? And what did Burning Godzilla melt in the Monsterverse? Bunch of metal and shit. So, it'd be interesting. Imagine Godzilla turning into Burning Godzilla as they're fighting. Like Mecha Godzilla's just beating the hell out of him. And then he gets imbued with this, and he just sort of tackles Mecha Godzilla. And Mecha Godzilla's just fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And then he just starts melting with Godzilla on top of him. And then Godzilla reigns supreme over the entire world, because now he even took out the world's best effort to keep him at bay. And maybe we'll get a bad Godzilla still. You know, I kind of hope that's the case. You know, I'm tired of the good guy Godzilla. You guys getting tired of that shit? I miss the good old days when Godzilla was a bad guy. You know? Tired of this hunky-dory Barney Godzilla. Let's have an evil. Let's have just a neutral Godzilla who's just killing a bunch of people and destroying a bunch of buildings by accident. You know, that's kind of what I miss, is just this unpredictable force of nature to be reckoned with. And what if that's what we get to see in this upcoming Godzilla film? So let me know in the comments, what are your speculations on Godzilla 2.0? What sort of plot or whatever do you want to see in the film? What sort of position do you want Mecha Godzilla to have? Would you rather him be an entity controlled by evil? Or would you rather have him controlled by just like the Japanese government or something? You know? Just trying to keep Godzilla at bay like the Hulkbuster. And what do you think Godzilla's going to be like in 2.0? Is he going to somehow turn into like a good guy in it? Or is he still going to be this destructive force of nature? And more importantly, which would you prefer? Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on these matters, and if y'all will like this video. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Peace be with you.